Hi guys, this is Other Enough for Homeschooling in London, and the topic that I want to discuss today is sleepovers. Sleepovers, like, you know, slumber parties with your children and their friends, in terms of them going to someone else's house. Not necessarily people coming to yours, but them going to someone else's house and staying the night there. When I was younger, I wasn't allowed to go to sleepovers. When they would have parties, friends would have parties. I was allowed to go to the party, but I would have to leave at a certain time. My dad would come and pick me up. When I was younger, I used to be so devastated that I was the only person that wasn't allowed to go. And I only realised and understood why when I was in secondary school, around about year 10. So I was about 15 and 14, 15 age group, and it came out that one of the parents of one of the students in the sixth form college had been arrested for child abuse, for basically abusing two boys from the same class during sleepovers for many years. And it had come out, and the man didn't deny it. It came out and it was true. He ended up being sentenced and put in prison. And when I thought about all the times when I begged my dad, crying, to go to sleepovers, and he said no, I was like, okay. So my dad was thinking along them lines, you know. If you don't know the parents, you don't know, you know, even if you know parents as well, a lot of the time you'll find that people that have been abused by children, have been abused by somebody they know. Sometimes it's a relative, you know, and sometimes it's a friend of the family that has been given so much responsibility, in terms of they've entrusted their child, you know, to spend time like sleeping overnight at that person's house, believing that person was a responsible adult, and that wasn't the case. So I am getting to this stage where I'm really thinking about these things, because my son's 5 now, and these are the kind of ages that they start saying, oh, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, oh, let's have a sleepover, or let's have a slumber party for my birthday. I'm having a slumber party, pajama party, you know, and both parents are in the house, and all these kids are sleeping downstairs, and, you know, you really don't know who you're actually allowing your child to spend time with. It's a very difficult situation, actually, though, because it almost means that you're somehow kind of living your life in fear. But then at the same time, if you put your child in that situation and something happens, then how do you feel? Because I've spoken to parents. I mean, I've actually interviewed parents of abused children for various print articles that I had to write a few years ago, and they've told me that they feel responsible for the fact that their child was abused because they allowed their children to go to a sleepover, or they allowed their child to spend time with someone who they had 100% trust in. You know, it's quite a scary situation, actually, when you think about it. Because, you know, even if you look at it like this, you could be a single mother with maybe 2 or 3 kids, or 1 child, or however many kids you've got, and you decide it's time for you to start dating again, and you get yourself into a relationship with someone who you think's the love of your life, is the most amazing person ever, and they end up, you know, doing God knows what to your kids. So it is a scary situation. It can happen in your own household, in terms of your own relative, your own husband or older cousin or brother, whatever. It can happen. But do you think there's more of a risk in terms of sending your child to a sleepover and you know, these things happening. I watched this film and I can't remember what it was called, but it scared the life out of me. It scared the life out of me. I really don't remember what the film was called, but it was basically these husband and wife, and then what that was even worse because they were a couple. So you see this couple and you think, you know, they're really sweet. They've got this beautiful house. They've got all this nice stuff for kids in the house, and they were taking these kids in, abusing them, killing them, and putting them under the floorboards. You know, and they nearly got one boy, and he managed to get away because somebody came and saved him and rescued him. You know, and these kids were, you know, going to the house and staying over there and everything, and it's a really scary thing. I mean, what's even making me think more about this as well is some of the recent celebrity cases in the UK that have surfaced, and you know, two of them actually went to prison as a result of this. One of them's dead, but two of them actually went to prison and were found guilty of it. You know, and these celebrities were really very well known figures in the UK. One of them was well known in the sense of being a children's entertainer / artist, and children loved him, and this is what happened. So you never know. It's very difficult because you don't want your children to live. You do not want your children to live a life of fear, being scared all the time, and it's a really sad world we live in at this time, because, you know, it almost means that, you know, I don't want my kids to go and play outside because I don't know who could snatch them. It's up to us as parents to protect our children. But obviously we can't be everywhere at all times, in terms of, if, say, for example, we let our children go to, I don't know, when they get a little bit older and they go out on their own, you know, you're not there. You can't send a camera around with them everywhere they go. But I think from when they're young, up to a certain age where you can sort of say, you know, guide them and give them advice. I think sleepovers, I don't know, because I've never sent my child over for a sleepover. You know, he's only ever gone to stay with relatives, whereby I've been there or his dad's been there. So I don't really know how I would take that and feel if, you know, someone asked me for my child to come over for a sleepover. I'm not sure what I would say, to be honest with you. I think I'll be more inclined to say no, actually. What do you think? Would you allow your child to go to a sleepover with parents that you don't know, or even parents that you do know, or friends of the family, or just friends maybe that have gone to friends of parents of the children's friends? Like, say, for example, your child goes to swimming club and and they have friends there, and their parents want them to have a sleepover and say, okay, can your child come? Would you say yes? That's the question I'm asking you. Would you say yes to a sleepover of friends of your child sleepover? Would you say yes to that? I think at this point, I'll be more inclined to say no. You know, and I might just say you can have a sleepover at mine at another time, like invite them to have a sleepover at mine. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Just leave comments below and join the discussion. Bye.